Good day, folks. Yeah, my name's Al Phillips. I'm with Plan 27 Marketing. Been with them about the last 2 years, in the marketing and advertising game for about the last 20, dealing with everyone from Tier 3 automotive companies to frontline retail. Um, I tend to start going a bit fast in these webinars, or I start rambling off on tangents. But I got my notes here. I'm going to try to keep this on point and try to keep this moving here today, so I'm not eating up your whole day listening to me rant. Um, so one thing I have learned, so I've been 2 years in the IT channel now, 20 years marketing and advertising. One thing I can tell you is that IT service providers, you guys are not unique. Um, there's it's not different than anybody else. No matter what you do, no matter whether you're marketing a widget or whether you're marketing a service or IT or whatever it may be, all successful marketing begins with a plan. So welcome to our three-part webinar series with CompTIA. This is the new one on research, and this is Module 1, Research in the Client Journey. Uh, Module 1 is geared to a change, sort of change your thinking towards marketing. Okay, module 2 and 3, 2 in January, we're going to do in January, 3 will be in February. They're a little bit more actionable. I encourage you to please grab a pad and a pen, make a couple of notes. I am going to send you guys away with a little bit of homework here today. I'm going to ask you some thought-provoking questions. This process is meant to be transformational, okay? Not just for you and your business, or not just for your business, but also for you, okay? I want to change how you think about these things. So just ask yourself these questions and think about it. These aren't meant to be, ramble it off, shoot it out. Okay, so, how many seats are you targeting? Well, I only want 15 to 20 seats, blah, blah. And it's not, give it some thought. What do you really want to do? Okay, this is, like I said, transformational for you and for your business. So I'm going to, a few points just to get us started here. Again, my objective here is to turn your thinking to marketing. All right, it's about being able to remove yourself and take that 10,000-foot view. People get caught up, and when you start looking at things too granular, you start thinking it's more complicated than what it needs to be. Break it down. Where are you today? Okay, you're at point A. Oh, okay, and you want to get to point B. How are you going to get there? What are all the different options to get there? Remember the scientific solution in high school? I think it was grade 10. I think I learned that or something. It's not, marketing and building out your plan is not much different than the scientific solution. Today's hybrid marketer. In the old days, you'd have your creative guys over on this side of the building, and then you'd have your bean counters over on the other side of the building, and there would be a manager in the middle, basically trying to play referee to the two. It's not really like that anymore. The two have come together. There's no more referee. Today's marketer, with all of our analytics and all of our measurements and all of our digital world out there, and the disruption and the evolution and the paradigm shifting that has gone on with business communications has been staggering. So today's hybrid marketer needs to be both left and right brain thinking. Okay, so yeah, you're thinking creative, and yeah, you want to come up with some cool campaigns, some cool messaging, some things that are some messaging that's going to break through. But you have to have your measurement tools there up front and know how you're going to measure, how you're going to manage, okay, and how you're going to follow through on it. And then be able to circle back and check these numbers and monitor, measure in order to create your repeatable model. Again, execute, manage, and measure. You've heard the term, you can't manage what you can't measure. I remember years ago when I was in the direct mail game, I had managers or VPs from head office basically getting me to literally so granular on measurement. I would have to measure office minutes per order to process paperwork. They wanted to be that granular on it. Well, and at the time it was insane. I was told that I was getting taken to the school of Dr. Deming and shown how to properly manage and blah 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 blah. To me, it was all a bunch of wasted. It was a huge waste of time. I'm like, let's just get on with it. Well, I did learn. I did see the ways back then, but it was very cutting edge back then. Today, it's everything. You're measuring. Everything is measurable. Everything is online. Everybody is. You're tracking movements. You're tracking activity. You're tracking leads conversions, click-through rates, and everything is an acronym. There's a million different acronyms out there, and just trying to stay ahead of them all. But at the end of the day, it's measurement, okay? And you can't adjust and be successful and tweak and manage your model and your marketing plan if you're not able to, you can't manage it if you're not able to measure it. So I'm going to get started here. Basically, we've got 5 sections, all right, and 5 things that I want you to sort of ask yourself some questions around these, all right? And I want you, number one, is I want you to really, how well do you know your customer? Like, know your customer, all right? Who is your customer? People say, well, it's 10 to 15 seats, that's my sweet spot. No. I want to know, who is your customer, all right? What is the minimum number of seats? What's the maximum number of seats? Okay, are you going after any verticals? Are you going after a law firm? Are you going after auto mechanics? What are you looking at? Or is it the masses? Are you in a smaller market where you just want to target all SMBs in your market? What are their needs or pain points? So now you determine the size. You determine this is who I want to talk to. This is who I'm going after. Well, what do they really want? What are their pain points? What are they looking for as business people? What do they react to? Once you get in front of them, okay, so what do you want to say to them, and how are you going to say it? So if you know what their pain points are, so you go to a law office, so if law is your vertical, and okay, well, here's a lawyer, and he wants all the benefits of the cloud. He wants to be able to reference his files when he's in court and when he's at settlement conferences, and he's here, there, and everywhere, but he's worried about the integrity of his client files and is paranoid about a breach. Well, these are things that you need to be able to speak to them. If you want to expand on that vertical, you need to be able to speak to them, put their mind at ease, okay, and begin to build the know, like, and trust factor, which I'll get to a little bit later. You need to be self-aware in your communications. So you walk into an auto mechanic and you start telling them, okay, you need digital transformation. You're an auto mechanic. If you're ordering your parts online and you're doing this and you're doing that, you know what? They're up to their elbows in grease. They're going to look at you like you have 2 heads. Digital transformation very well might be the cat's meow for them. But guess what? Right now, they're just trying to satisfy their customers. They're just trying to get product out the door, get cars out of their bay. So you walking in and talking to them about digital transformation, or you popping up in their email, they're going to be like, I don't have time for that. So understand how they view you and talk to them based on their pain points. You need to know all these things, but be self-aware. How do they view their own IT, and how do they view you and IT services? Their own IT, and if you're talking auto mechanics, I can pretty much tell you that all they care about is, does it work? Like many, I should say, I shouldn't say that, many customers, they just want it to work. Okay, as long as it's working, they're probably not going to want to fix it. What they do is they wait until it's completely out of date, and then they have to go through. It's going to take a forklift upgrade to get them fixed, but that's another conversation altogether. But I'm sure that you guys have all seen that and run into that as well. So again, know your customer. Give it some thought. You know what I mean? Profile it. Build it out and build a profile. What's your sales process? Okay, so you know your customer, you know what you want to go after. Okay, how many sales can you bring in? What is the length of your sales cycle? Okay, are you that you're not selling a pizza. You're not going in on an impulse purchase. Okay, where you just have to do some fancy photography and have a piece, show up in their mailbox when they're getting home from work that night, and they grab the phone and boom, done. That's a quick and easy, pretty linear, one-dimensional sales cycle. Yours is much more intricate, unfortunately. The know, like, and trust factor. Okay, how are you building that throughout your sales process? So again, it's not a pizza. Okay, this isn't impulse. These people are outsourcing an integral part of their business to you. Okay, they're putting their trust in you. They need to know you. They need to like you, and they certainly need to trust you. So everything you do and everything you throughout your sales process needs to continue to buttress and build on your know, like, and trust. So again, set realistic expectations. So what's the length of your sales cycle? It's not the flick of a switch. If you don't just call the radio station and say, okay, you know what, I want to run 30-second ads and on the prime time drive, and I want to back it up with some 10-second brand sales and sponsor the news and the traffic. And then all of a sudden, and then go, wow, okay, that's a pretty cool little media campaign I got on the radio, and then sit back and wait for your phone and your email to start lighting up. It doesn't work that way. You're building a relationship with people and enticing them to come and to continue to do business with you and align their business with yours as an outsourced partner. Okay, that's a heavy duty sale. Know your competition. A lot, what I got a lot. I'm gonna sort of revert back to the beginning when I was doing sort of getting up to speed with the IT channel and really trying to find out what your guys' pain points were in the beginning. I was amazed at how many people and how many MSPs and IT service providers out there don't actually know anything about their competition. You guys were kind of so many people who were just comfortable in what they were doing that it didn't matter. They had the referrals coming in, business was good, bottom line. Well, then all of a sudden they start running up against churn. Okay, and now all of a sudden you start getting some people dropping off. Now all of a sudden you have to backfill. Well, wait a minute, I don't have any more referrals. Okay, well, what's your competition out there doing? Well, why are you getting this churn? Why do you have business people dropping off? Why am I losing clients? Why am I losing clients that I haven't, I've had for 5, 10 years? Who am I losing them to? Well, who is the competition? What are they doing? Where are you at? Okay. What's the market saturation? What is your market saturation? Okay. Where are you at against it? How many competitors do you have in your market? How many SMBs do you have in your market? How many of your target audience? So if you're going after 20 to 80 seats, how many 20 to 80 seat businesses do you have in your market? Okay. And now, all right, you want to pull out your movie theaters and your landscapers and these other people who only have maybe one computer to run the whole business. You want to pull them out and you look at it and say, okay, well, all right, there. So I've got 500. All right. So I've got X number. Well, I won't even say 500. Let's say X number. You know, how many competitors are in this market chasing me for that business and trying to sort of eat my lunch? What are their prospect offerings? Okay, and how does yours align with it? Is it something? So back when you know your customer, okay, what are their pain points? How's your competition stuff? Here, this is very important. Don't People fall into and they make the mistake of trying to copy their competition. They see it, and I see it weekly. Well, wait a minute. Our top competitors are running these ads. This here is what their artwork looks like. This is their offering. Well, what's to say that that's performing any better than what yours is? What's to say that what they're doing is right? You have to go from operate and make your decisions from a position of strength. And your position of strength is knowledge and research. So if you know your customer and you really know your customer and you really know their pain points and you really know what appeals to them, then you should have confidence to say, this is the message and what I want to offer. This is how I want it to look, and this is how I'm going to break through. But you need to know who your adversaries are and what they're doing in the market around you. You're probably making it when you're going in and you're making proposals. You're probably up against the same people as well. So you need to know kind of what differentiates you against them, and you need to be able to quickly speak to that. You don't want to get into a situation where, okay, I'm still, we're thinking about it, or this or that or whatever. Let me get back to you on what they're offering and how we can beat that. You need to have it and say, you know what, because ABC company over here, X, boom, boom, boom. Make get over the hurdle, okay, and have it at the sort of at the ready. Make it easier for businesses to choose you. I had a guy years ago, a car detailing shop, And again, I know you guys are IT services, but there's a couple of things that I'm going to use from my past experience just to sort of hit some stuff home here. Car detailing shop. This guy's got the cat's meow service. He does this, he does that. He's cheap, and he's right in the middle of this business park. And he has a gas station, a Sunoco attached to him. And he's this, he's that, and he's how do I grow my business? I want to do a direct mailer and all this other kind of stuff. And I want to go in the newspaper. And why do you want to go to the newspaper? I told him, I said, you just need to make it easier to do business, for people to do business with you, and they will. He got a shuttle. He got some magnets printed, put them on the side of his car. He grabbed one of his employees who was helping him do the detailing, and they started shuttling guys in their cars back and forth from their office. So while they're sitting there in their office working, they'd go over, they'd shuttle the car over, clean it, and then go drop it back at the office. They went through the roof. They went through the roof because it was just a simple thing and it was kind of an aha moment for him. He thought, oh, it's so simple. Well, it is. It's just a matter of, again, that 10,000-foot view. What does it look like? What do people want? What does your customer want? Make it easier for businesses to choose you over your competition, because and break their habit. People are also creatures of habit. So when you're trying to sell someone new and you're trying to pull somebody as well, you know, people get into the same thing, the same routine. Okay, I go to A1 car cleaning, I do this on this day, this on that day. Think of that, and remember, you're trying to build them a new paradigm. So what's your client value? So again, talking about measuring, managing a repeatable model. This is going to start with your client value. So what is your average annual profit of a mature client? You're going to want this so that you can keep track of your ROI and know where you're at. Do you have, so maybe if you're a smaller market, okay, where you're also offering break fix service as well as MSP. That break fix service is going to be, now all of a sudden you're going to the masses. That's a different strategy and communication strategy than MSP. MSP, you're going after business owners. You're going after your SMBs with your 20 to 80 seats or whatever your sweet spot is. But your break fix stuff, you can be taking these home callers. You can be taking, the kid who has his laptop for school is screwing up on him, and he wants to pop in to your shop on the way home. And get his laptop fixed before going home for the night. That is in smaller markets, that is a viable service, but it needs to be measured differently. Okay. Minimize orphan leads. All right. Orphan leads is, okay, so I'm talking about your MSP plan and then your break fix plan. Two different audiences, two different communications. Something else that what people do, and this is a big thing, is orphan leads. You have your plan, okay, and you're building out your plan, and you've created your client journey, all right, and you know that you're touching them here, okay, you're getting introduced to them here, you're staying with them over here, you're communicating with them through social media, you're doing this, you're doing that, but then all of a sudden you get let's say it's your neighbor. Your neighbor's a Rotary member, and you get a phone call from a guy, and he says, "Hi, it's Jim. I was talking to your neighbor at our Rotary Breakfast Club, and he suggested that I give you a call." You automatically attribute that to a referral coming from your neighbor. You say, "Thanks a lot." You buy your neighbor a beer next time you're at the bar, and you call it a day, and you now have a new client. You don't attribute anything else to what has happened, what's brought that person to come to you. So it's about building this attribution loop and attributing the proper weight to each touch point from a new client. What very well could have happened with that referral is this gentleman, who's also a Rotary member, was looking around and did a Google search. Okay, they wound up on your website. Okay, they picked up a remarketing cookie on your website in which now you stayed with them. Okay, they kind of put it off. They weren't ready. Their computers were still working, or their current supplier, maybe he came through for them. Now he goes away, but now your remarketing ads stay with them. Okay, so then he's on Facebook and he's checking his kids' pictures, and boom, one of your ads pop up in front of him. It gives him another little bit of a nudge. So then he clicks on the ad, and then he winds up over on your page on Facebook. And then he says, oh, hey, Mike here, my buddy Mike, my Rotary buddy here, he also likes this guy's page. Huh, okay, maybe at next week's Breakfast Club meeting, I'll ask him about it. So now he's done a Google search. You've stayed with him. You've stayed top of mind. You've left that impression. And then to close the deal, they're standing there having a coffee at their Breakfast Club, and he says, hey, Mike, what do you know about ABC Company? He says, oh, great guy, we've been friends all life. Oh, yeah, they'll take good care of you. He picks up the phone, he calls you. He doesn't mention anything about the attribution loop that brought him around to getting that referral at his Rotary Breakfast Club meeting. Had it not been for all from A, B, and C ahead of him, he never would have prompted that question. That topic never would have come up at the Breakfast Club meeting. Now, not all of them are going to be like that. Some referrals truly might be through conversation, but it's a matter of being able to track and being able to know. So I'm being able to manage your plan. So when you have this built out, okay, you know the value of your clients. You know where you're spending everything. You can allow a certain amount of your budget to each different section of your loop. And as long as you can measure it and you can track it and you can follow it, then you know. Because now all of a sudden, if this guy just says, oh, well, that's just a referral, all this other stuff isn't working, boom, they shut it all off. And then in 4 months' time, all their leads have dried up, their funnel's empty, and they're sitting there going, what's going on? My marketing sucks. Marketing sucks. I can't get this to work. Why is this? How do I get a lead? How do I grow my business? Then you're back on the phone, you're calling another marketing company. I need help with marketing. It's never worked for me. I've tried this, I've tried that. The more you know, get out in front of it, get transparent. We're going to build a transparent plan so that you're not going to make those mistakes. So again, know your stack. This is going back to sort of our loop, okay, and the attribution loop and what's going to bring new clients around to us. A lot of this is going to be done through our research up front. Know your customer. Who is your customer? Know your competition, okay? Research doesn't need to be this big difficult animal. You get a lot of people using online research services and all this other kind of stuff. I'm a true firm believer in boots on the ground research. Just ask people, okay? You'd be amazed if you ask a question and how forthright people will be with giving you information to sort of fill out so that to give you a good idea on where you're at. On social media, we build what's called a like audience. Okay, so you can basically say, okay, here's all the attributes of this person here, and I want to clone that person, and I want you, social media, to go out and find me 10,000 more of them, and they call it building like audiences. You can do this yourself with your own boots on the ground. I suggest you take 5 of your top clients, okay, number 1 clients who you would die to have 5 more of them. Take a different one out each week for lunch, every Friday. Call it my Friday afternoon research. Take them out for lunch. Ask them some really good questions on around factors that drive them to action. Ask them about digital transformation. Ask them about network assessments, security assessments. Okay, this is going to help you to create your content strategy and how to communicate with these people. Okay, ask them about social medias. What social medias that they're using? All these people say everybody out there is on LinkedIn. Everyone's on LinkedIn. Yeah, well, guess what? A lot of people are signed up for LinkedIn, but how much are they using it? Okay, that's the big thing. So ask them, are you using social media? Okay, what are you using? You're using LinkedIn, you're using Facebook, you're using this, boom, boom, boom. Okay, how much do you use it? Oh, I'm on Facebook every day for usually a couple hours every night looking at pictures and this and that, or I get an update. Okay, how often are you on LinkedIn? Once a month. Maybe when I get an alert in my email that I just want to clear. Well, there you go, bing, bing, bing. So usage number is the biggest. I think Facebook the usage is about 10 times that of LinkedIn. And it's good. Each has their own. This is another topic altogether, but I'm a firm believer in sort of the Facebook, that whole surprise proposition. Somebody looking at their kids' photos and they're doing this and they're doing that, and they've shifted out of business mode, but they're still on there and they're using it. What's wrong with giving them that surprise proposition? One thing I've learned about SMBs for the last 20 years, Okay. First of all, people who aren't in business, they all want to be in business, right? But the problem with once you are in business for yourself, you're always working. You're turned on 24/7. It takes nothing. It takes just a drop of a hat for you to change your thinking and go from social obligation. Yeah, let's talk business. I want to talk business. I want to talk business. The successful business people, it turns them on. It drives them. So a surprise proposition while they're looking at their niece's or nephew's birthday party, to have a surprise proposition about a security assessment or something like that pop up is not intrusive. In fact, I know a lot of guys where it would actually be welcome. They can then jump, you know what? Yeah, I want to go back to business. I want to go back to thinking about that. That's right. I was worried about this security. I do want to look into this or do that. Use this research to develop your content, okay, and the client journey, and know where you're at. All right. So up next in Module 2 is going to be develop our plan. We're going to get our sleeves rolled up. We're going to start to really build this out, okay? But again, this one, Mod 1 here is meant to be thought-provoking, okay? I'm hoping it's just going to get you guys thinking about certain things, and hopefully you've made some notes and go through it. It's literally 5 steps. Literally 5 steps, Know who your customer is. Number 1, who is your customer? Who's your competition? What's your sales process? The sales process. We've had people, clients come to us and they say, I want 15 new sales a month. Well, I guess you do. But your sales process, what's your onboarding process? Could how many techs do you have? How many salespeople do you have? Could you actually physically onboard 15 new clients in a month if you wanted to? Probably not. It'd probably bury you. It's very important. Controlled growth is as important as no growth at all. And if you let your growth get away on you, let's say you start really blowing this up. So I'm describing nirvana here, and you start really blowing it up, and you got people coming, and you have an onboarding problem. Put the brakes on and stretch it out. Even if you're going to lose a couple along the way, uncontrolled growth will bury you. All right. So thank you very much, folks, for your time. I think we're going to open this up for a few questions here now. But again, looking forward to January and getting our sleeves rolled up. So I'll turn it back over to you, Lisa.